Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. Speaking of shattering all expectations, we got some expectations shattered today as we got a DLC character roadmap for the King of Fighters 15, and they have revealed the first 6 playable characters that are DLC for the game. These characters are Rock Howard of Rock Howard fame. If you ever watched Maximilian, he talks about that character a lot. Also, Gato from Mark of the Wolves, and Jenet from Mark of the Wolves. And funnily enough, this is the Garou team, as in everyone's from Mark of the Wolves. That will be our first DLC team. We also have a second DLC team of Team Southtown, which comprises of Geese Howard, Billy Kane, and Yamazaki. I'll be breaking down the trailer specifics in a moment here, going over everything in some detail, telling you why exactly you should care about these characters, because they're all a pretty big deal. But before we get into the weeds with that, there is still some more pretty big details to go over, besides the fact that we just know these 6 characters are coming. First up, we have dates. So Team Garou will be launching in March, so that is the month after the launch of the initial game. Team Southtown will be launching in May of 2022. And yes, we got Team 3, summer 2022, and we also got Team 4, which is autumn of this year. So in the first year of its existence, the King of Fighters 15 will be launching 12 DLC characters. That is a lot. A heck of a lot more than other modern fighting games, to be sure. Now that said, that's all well and good, but who are these characters, right? Let's talk about them a little bit. I'll save the bigger breakdowns for whenever they actually come out, but still, let's go over the basics. So, Rock Howard is a young, stylish lad, the son of Geese Howard, but not raised by Geese, in fact raised by Terry Bogard, Geese's enemy. He's raising his son because, well, he killed him, except that's the Fatal Fury timeline. In the King of Fighters timeline, Geese is alive and well. Don't expect him to be canonical necessarily, because he should be about 10 years old in this timeline. Moveset wise, he's basically a mix of his parents, a mix between Geese and Terry. So he has stuff like the double Reppuken. This is Geese's signature projectile attack. However, he has Terry's rising tackle. This is Terry's anti-air move. Like his daddy Geese, he also has a whole whack of counter moves. And going by this, it looks like EX counter has a bit of a bounce, meaning you can combo after the fact, so that'd be pretty cool. You can see his classic power dunk, just like Terry, and then there's this. This, I think, is new. I'm no Rock superfan, so I can't profess to remember every single thing about him, but I don't remember this. This is kind of like a reverse crack shoot like Terry's. He can do the crack shoot, but it's part of his counter moves. Here, he's just doing it by itself. Also EX version and ground bounces. Into the elbow, which is basically his version of Burn Knuckle. This is level 1 Shine Knuckle, which is basically his version of Buster Wolf. This is level 2 Raging Storm, which is his version of, well, Raging Storm, Geese's famous super. And then we have an all-new level 3. So somewhat similar. It's meant to be like inspiration of Geese's Deadly Rave attack, I guess a little bit. But the Ender is completely different than King of Fighters 14, as he has trouble controlling his evil powers, because that's part of his deal, into this massive Raging Storm. Rock's mother, which the franchise doesn't really ever go too much into, she has her own weird power set, and then you mix that with Geese Howard, and then that's why Rock is all sorts of crazy. Rock is basically a lot of the best bits of Terry Bogard and Geese Howard in one cool kid package, so if that appeals to you, this is your guy. Now, Gato, also from Garou, Mark of the Wolves, does actually have appearances in the King of Fighters under his belt, King of Fighters 2003 and KoF 11. Gato is a ruthless kung fu master hard-ass who's out for revenge. Not necessarily a bad guy, but not necessarily a good guy either, as moves like this can show you. So the first thing you see out of him is this leap into this invisible projectile. This is one of his cornerstones of his game plan. The move here, where he stomps, this is basically a command jump. If you know Street Fighter, it's like a demon flip like Akuma has. Except it can also hit on the way up. And he has 4 options from this and multiple jump angles. This option is a projectile. At the higher jump angles, it always hits on the ground, so it can actually cover a very large portion of the screen. He also gets overheads, dive kicks, and lows, so he has a lot of tools from it. This here is his uppercut style move. He hits you and then just kicks you a bunch on the way up. Here you can see him launch the enemy, and this special move right here always has a follow-up where you can do a leaping punch. Traditionally, the move is quarter circle forward punch, then you hit forward punch for the follow-up. It's your choice to do it or not. Level 1 super is this rising dragon kick super into a level 2, which is that really nasty neck snap that we showed just a moment before, into this, an all-new level 3. Maximum spider basically on the way up, and then blasts you with a massive boot. And then finally for the team B, Jenet. Very popular character from Garou Mark of the Wolves for reasons I'm sure you can figure out. Also a KoF veteran, she was in the King of Fighters 11. So what's her deal? Well, she's a rich girl pirate. She doesn't need the money, she's basically just doing it for fun. She has a group that follows her around called the Lilin Knights, and they're basically her personal army of simps. They do the steal from the rich, give to the poor kind of deal. Moveset wise, she has projectiles. It basically comes in form of big slow one that hangs in front of her or a more regular one across the ground. Her big wheel kick, the Gulf Tomahawk, which is good for going over various things. Hind, which is basically a hop attack that goes into a big kind of just spinning uppercut style of move. Crazy Ivan, where she just whips you with her dress. This is the EX version, which causes a crumple, so it looks like we get combo potential after the fact. Goes into a level 1 Aurora super, and this just basically is a super that rises up. And then her Torpedo super, which I guess you can do in the air now. That's pretty handy. And she just drills into you with a million boots while doing it. And then a new / old level 3. So she gets ripping mad at you and does what any martial artist would do in this situation, which is take off your shoes and beat the hell out of you with the shoes. Maybe this isn't a technique studied for 1,000 years in the mountains of China or something, but it gets the job done because it probably sucks to get hit in the face by a shoe. This is a classic move for her, although in Garou you had to do it just defense before you could do the move. The timing was pretty strict. And that is Team Garou. Once again here, we're just kind of scraping the surface. There's a lot more to talk about, but I guess we can wait for when they launch, which is very soon in March 2022. And Team 2. So no proper trailer for Team 2 in terms of gameplay, but hey, the look says it all. So Geese Howard in a new rockin' and rippin' suit. It's been some years since Geese has fought in this suit. Like almost 30 years. At least in terms of canonical appearances anyways. Absolutely fantastic look on him. I think it'll look like $1 million in game, especially the way he fights. And well, he's not the only one because Billy Kane, he's also rocking the suit. And to round it out, Yamazaki returns in his big, just pompous fur suit, which he's been known to wear every now and then. This Shinkiro art dream lives on, as this is basically what they're going for now. Geese Howard is the Don Corleone of fighting games, and don't you ever forget it. These outfits are here to let you know that the Howard connection is not to be messed with. And real quick rundown, in case you just don't know who these characters are. Geese Howard is the primary antagonist of the Fatal Fury franchise, the forever enemy of Terry Bogard, since he's very much complicit in Terry Bogard's father's death. Also a boss in the Art of Fighting franchise as well, and just one of the coolest characters in the history of all fighting games. Cody Rhodes is his biggest fan. Billy Kane is Geese Howard's right-hand man, and he uses that big old stick to great effect in the games, as he will poke you and outrange you all day long. And Ryuji Yamazaki is just a crazy asshole. There's no real other way to put it. He's a gangster, a very violent gangster. Also one of the Hekeshu. Yes, he's related to your boy, Orochi. Nominally one of the 8 heads of the Orochi, and he has the assigned power and element of death. But the thing is, Yamazaki could not give less of a shit, honestly. Technically born to serve and to do the whole prophecy thing, nah, he ain't doing it. He's not having it. He'd rather just shake down people in the streets for $50. Yamazaki is not a stable guy. So, in no uncertain terms, Team Southtown, the Howard connection, is your Mafia team. And that's our DLC, and we have the new teams, and honestly, who knows who those could be, and good things are coming for the King of Fighters 15. Wasn't expecting such a big info dump, but very happy to get it. Especially since the characters and especially the Geese Howard team all look so clean. Can't say much more than just really looking forward to it. So my friends, that is the news as it stands. We're getting a lot of DLC. We don't have to wait too long. There's these costumes as well. If there's any more news before launch, I'll be sure to make a video and let you know. But otherwise, hey, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some King of Fighters.